Hello class, we're about to start lesson 11, patterns and functions. A pattern is a series of numbers or objects whose sequence is determined by a particular rule. We're actually on page 378. You can figure out what rule has been used by studying the terms you are given. Think, what operation or sequence of operations will always result in the next term in a series? Once you know the rule, you can continue the pattern. Example 1. It says find the seventh term in the sequence 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Okay, so you have the first 5 terms of the sequence. So then we would need 6 and then 7. So number 1, it says determine the rule. Each number in the sequence is 2 times the number before it. So if you look here, if you do 1 times 2, that'll give you 2. Then 2 times 2 would be 4. 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16. So like it said, each number in the sequence is 2 times the number before it. Now we're going to apply the rule. You have been given 5 terms and must find the 7th. Continue the pattern. The 6th term is 16 times 2. So we have to multiply this value times 2. That'll give you 32. And then the 7th term is 32 times 2, which is 64. Now, a function is a rule that shows how the terms in one sequence of numbers are related to the terms in another sequence. Each distinct number entered into the function produces a unique output. For example, a sidewalk vendor charges $1.50 for a slice of pizza. The chart below shows how much it would cost to buy 1 to 6 slices. So if you see here, 1 slice is $1.50, 2 slices is $3, 3 slices is $4.50. So if you notice with the cost, it's doubling. Well, no, it's going up by $1.50, not doubling. It's going up by adding $1.50 to each value. Now, as far as the number of slices, you know that these are just going up by 1. Now, each number in the first row corresponds to a price in the second row. We could say that the amount a customer will pay is a function of or depends upon the number of slices the customer orders. This function could be written as the cost equals the number of slices, which we have here, times $1.50. So C is equal to N times $1.50. If you know the function and a number in the first set of numbers, you can solve for its corresponding number in the second set. Use the function y equals 3x plus 5. What is the value of y when x is negative 3? So we would substitute the given value of x. We said x is negative 3. And then solve for y. So y would be negative 4. Now it says using the function n equals 100 minus 4 times the parenthesis of 3 plus m. What is the value of n when m is 6? So we'll substitute in 6 for m, and it's shown here. So it says substitute the given value for m, so we have 100 minus 4, and then in parentheses we add 3 plus 6, because m is 6. So we'll do the parentheses first. 3 plus 6 is 9. So we have 100 minus 4 times 9 is 36. 100 minus 36 is 64. So now we move on to the next page, and we have our practice problems. So we'll go with practice problem number 1. It says, which number should come next in the following pattern? We have, I'm going to write the pattern down here. So they want to know the next number. Now we go from negative 12 to negative 9. From negative 9 to negative 6, and negative 6 to negative 3. So if you look here to go from here to here, you're adding 3. From here to here, you're adding 3. And from here to here, you're adding 3. So that means that we would need to add 3 here. And that would give us 0. So the next number would be 0. All right, now, for number 2, It says, what is the next number in the sequence? We had 21, 26, 31, 36, and then the next number. Now, to go from 21 to 26, we would add 5. To go from 26 to 31, we add 5. To go to 31 to 36, we add 5. So that's the pattern. So we'll need to add 5 to 36, which will give us 41. All right. Now we move on to problem number 3. In the function y equals 4x plus 10, it says if x is negative 2. So we're going to substitute in negative 2 for x. So we have y equals 4 times negative 2 plus 10. So we have y equals 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 plus 10, and y is 2. So now we move down to problem number 4. It says in a function, y equals 2x times 4 plus x minus 2. If x is 3, so we know x is equal to 3. So we want to solve that. What is the value of y? So we'll put in 3 wherever x appears. So we put in 3 wherever x appears. So now we do our order of operations. We do what's in the parentheses first. 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay, so now we have multiplication and subtraction. So we know we do multiplication first. 2 times 3 is 6. Then we bring down our times 7 minus 2. 6 times 7 is 42. And 42 minus 2 is 40. So your y here would be 40. Okay, number 5. Now, I'm not going to draw this box, but we will utilize this box to solve for number 5. So number 5, it says each term in the second row is determined by the function y equals 2x minus 1. It says what number belongs in a shaded box. So look, if you look here, these top numbers are x values, and the bottom number are y values. So we're trying to solve for y. But we're given that x is 12. So we would substitute in 12 for x. So we have y equals 2 times 12 is 24 minus 1. 24 minus 1 is 23. So that took care of problem number 5. Now we go here to problem number 6. It says in the function y equals x plus 3 over 6 minus 8. If x is 21, what is the value of y? So we have y is equal to x plus 3 over 6 minus 8. And we have x is 21. So we substitute wherever x is, we'll put 21 in its place. So now we have 21 plus 3 will be 24 over 6 minus 8. 24 over 6 is 4, minus 8 is negative 4. So your answer here is y is negative 4. Now number 7, it says what is the next term in the pattern below? So we got 1,000, then we have 500, 250, 125, 62.5, and then we want to get this next number. Now when we look here, to go from 1,000 to 500, we know we can subtract 500. But then to go to 500 to 250, that only goes down 250, so subtraction wouldn't work. So what we would need to do here is look at division. It looks as though we're dividing by 2. 1,000 divided by 2 is 500. 500 divided by 2 is 250. 250 divided by 2 is 125. 125 divided by 2 is 62.5. So now we have to do 62.5 divided by 2. Now we could go off to the side and take 2 into 62.5. Bring up our decimal. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. that brings down our 2. 2 goes into 2 once, and then we'll bring down our 5. 2 goes into 5 2 times. So that'd be 1, we'll add a 0, and then 2 goes into 10 5 times. So that'll be 31.25. That would be our answer, 31.25. All right, now we go here to problem number 8. Problem number 8, it says, what is the next number in the sequence? Now we have 3, -5, 7, -9, 11, and so on. So now if we look here, we notice we go from a positive to a negative, and a negative to a positive, positive to a negative, and so on. So with that being said, we have to figure out this pattern here. Now again, we can see a pattern without necessarily doing it with a mathematical sequence. You can see here that it goes from 3 to -5, -5 to 7, 7 to -9, -9 to 11. But if you look deeper here, isn't 3 plus 2 5, right? But then we put a negative here. And if we said 5 plus 2 is 7, because you notice we would go in the pattern of adding 2, but every other digit would be its negative counterpart. So we know it's 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. But you notice every second value is negative. So we know the next number would be 13, but according to this pattern, 13 would be negative. All right, now for number 9, it says each term in the second row is determined by the function y equals 3x plus 5. Now, it says here, what numbers belong in the shaded box? So this is similar to problem number 5. So we have y equals 3x plus 5. And we notice here that the x value is 9. So we are substituting 9 for x. So we have 3 times 9 is 27 plus 5. 27 plus 5 is 32. All right, now for number 10, in the function, y equals x minus 7 plus 12. If x is negative 10, what is the value of y? Okay, so now we're going to do a little substitution here. So now we have y, this is number 10. We have y is equal to x minus 7 plus 12. Now we know x is negative 10, so we are substituting negative 10 for x, and I don't have enough room. So let me move over to this other page here. So this is still number 10. So we have y is equal to x minus 7 plus 12. So y is equal to, we'll put in negative 10 for x minus 7 plus 12. So we have y is equal to negative 10 minus 7 is a negative 17 plus 12. Negative 17 plus 12 is a negative 5. So our answer here should be a negative 5. All right, now we come on down here to, I think we go up to 14 problems. So we come down here to finish up 11 through 14. So B says choose the one best answer to each question. Question 11 refers to the following drawing. Okay, so now, number 11, it says how many blocks would be needed to build the 25th construction in this sequence? So let's take a look at this sequence. So the first one we have 1 block. The second one we have 3 blocks. The third one we have 5. And the fourth one we have 7. Now, this is the pattern that I see. Whatever number we're looking at, that number goes first, and the previous number goes second. So here we had the second. We had 2 blocks, and then the previous one was only 1 block. Now with the third, we add 3, and then the previous one is 2. Then here with the fourth, we have 4 blocks, and the previous one is 3, because that was the third. So then if we was going to just the next number, it'll be 5, and then 4. So now we want to do the 25th construction. The 25th construction would be 25 for the first blocks, and then it had to be 24 for the second blocks. And if you add those together, 25 plus 24, that gives us 49, which would be B. Now number 12, it says, what is the sixth term in the sequence below? So we have negative 14, negative 8, negative 2, 4. So we have the first 4 terms. Now negative 14 and negative 8, we'll be adding 6. Negative 8 to negative 2, we add 6. Negative 2 to 4, we add 6. So we know the fifth term, we'll add 6 to make that 10. And then the sixth term that we actually want, we will add 6, so that'll be 16. So 16 is your answer here, which would be C. All right. Now we move on to 13. 13, it says, the price per scarf is a function of the number of scarves purchased. The table shows the price per scarf for purchase of up to 4 scarves. Okay. Now, it tells us here, which of the following functions was used to determine the prices shown in the table? Now, they tell us that we add a number n of scarves, and then we add cost C per scarf. So we know C is really representing our Y value, and N represents our X value. So now, we want to find the formula that works. Now, if you look here, we start off with 5. Now, if you notice, with the N values, they go in order 1, 2, 3, 4. But then the cost, when you look here at the cost of the scarf, you notice as each scarf is purchased, we're going down by a quarter. So, what we would do is this here. We know that we're going to start off with $5. Well, we know we're going to start off with N. Let's start with that. So we start off with N. Okay, so now we know N is the number of scarves. So we know that whatever the number of scarves is, we're going to go down by a quarter. So what we should have done here, so what we could do, we could technically just substitute in values here and see which one works. But just for the sake of argument, B is actually the answer. But let's take a look at it. We have C is equal to $5 minus 0.25 times N minus 1. Now, we have $5. Now let's try 2 for N. So that'll be 2 minus 1. And C is equal to $5 minus 0.25 times 1. So it'd be $5 minus 0.25, which would give us $4.75. Now, when you put in the 3, that'll give us 2, and so on. It would give us all the rest of the answers. Now, the reason why we did N minus 1 is because we're doing $5 minus this. Now, if we put 1 in here, 1 minus 1 is 0. So this would be 0 and $5 minus 0. Because remember, at 1, it remains $5. So our answer here would be B. And remember, you could have just substituted to get your final answer. Okay, we're about to start problem 14. Now, if we look at 14, it says, which of the following sequences of values of y could be created using the function y equals 4x minus 3? So these are the results after we substitute in for x and solve for y. So let's try x being 1, 2, and 3 and see how this works. Okay, so now if we take this equation, y equals 4, we'll put in 1 for x. So we have y equals 4 minus 3 and y equals 1. So that'll be the first number. So now we're going to try the same equation, but then we're going to put in 2 for x. So it'll be y equals 8 minus 3 and y equals 5. So that'll be the second number. And then now we're going to try the third number. So we have 4 times 3 minus 3. Y equals 12 minus 3, y is equal to 9. So our first three numbers should be 1, 5, and 9. Now, the one that has the first three numbers of 1, 5, and 9 is B. So our answer here would be B. If you want to try the fourth and the fifth number, you can, but the answer would be B. And we are done with lesson 11. I will upload this to YouTube and have a wonderful day.